Alrighty, YouTube, Niner Empire, real quick here. Just wanted to come on and give my 2 cents on the injury news for the 49ers following the Buffalo game. Christian McCaffrey headed to injured reserve with a PCL injury. I said that in the video I made yesterday when I kind of went on a rant about the 49ers season and whatnot. Jordan Mason, 49ers backup running back that started while McCaffrey was injured for over half of the season, is also headed to injured reserve with a high ankle sprain. Not sure when he suffered the high ankle sprain, but he's going to be out too. So that means Isaac Guerendo will take over for the injured McCaffrey and the injured Mason, and he will be the 49ers starting running back moving forward, probably until the end of the year. Mason might be back, 1 or 2 games before the season ends, but either way, just terrible injury luck. Also, prayers up to Trent Williams. Him and his wife just recently lost twins. Same thing happened to Charvarius Ward when he lost his little daughter. Terrible news. Just a literal black cloud hanging over this football team this year when it comes to injuries, bad luck, and obviously the horrible news of Charvarius Ward and Trent Williams losing their children is it's gut-wrenching. So obviously prayers up to Trent Williams and his family and his wife. That I could not imagine having to go through something like that. But yeah, man, what a terrible season for the 49ers. I mean, it's one thing to have all of these injuries and whatnot, but it's another thing to have players go through some of the stuff that they've been through. Yeah, man, I mean, what a shit show of a year, what a shit show of a season for this 49ers football team. It sucks because obviously, there is a next year, right? Like, you always have next year and whatnot, but knowing that this 49ers Super Bowl window is closed, and it closed very fast, and I'm not saying that they may not ever make it back to the Super Bowl. It's just my confidence in Kyle Shanahan being the head coach of this team when they win a Super Bowl is like slim to none. I just don't believe that Kyle Shanahan will ever win a Super Bowl with the 49ers. He had a chance to do it last year. He's never going to have a more talented roster than he did last year. So yeah, I don't know. What I do know is, again, we got to gear up for next year. The good news is with McCaffrey, his PCL will not require surgery. So that is good news. So, shut him down for the remainder of the year. Obviously the 49ers put him on injured reserve, officially ending his season. And then obviously, make sure everything goes smooth in the offseason and have a healthy and 100% Christian McCaffrey for next year. So, like I said, man, terrible. It's just been such a shit show of a year for this team, for this organization. Obviously there's a lot of expiring contracts coming up. It'll be interesting to see if the 49ers re-sign Talanoa Hufanga, Dre Greenlaw. Brock Purdy's the most notable contract. That's Brock Purdy's contract's not expiring, but he's the most notable name that is due for a contract extension. So it'll be interesting to see what the 49ers do with that. I know a lot of people are talking about how the Niners should just let McCaffrey play out the 5th year on his contract, this and that. That's bullshit, man. Brock Purdy is without a doubt the franchise quarterback. Kyle Shanahan and this organization made that clear 2 years ago. And what Brock Purdy has done for this team is, like, nobody's more deserving of a contract extension than he is. So, I'm not with those fans that are saying, that the 49ers should move on from Brock. Like, all that bullshit talk of fans saying they need to move on from Brock Purdy or Brock Purdy hasn't proved himself. He may not be a franchise quarterback. It's all bullshit. It's the same people that said last year that Brock Purdy was one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league and this and that. It's just crazy how fans can really switch up like that. I'm definitely not one of them. I'm one of the biggest Brock Purdy fans out there, and yeah, he's not having a great year, but this team's not having a great year, so it's beyond the quarterback, man, at this point. And like I said, I think the 49ers know that he's the franchise quarterback, and that they're gonna extend him and keep him with the Niners for the long haul. So yeah, man. Like I said, just a shit show of a year. I know veteran defensive lineman Kevin Givens is also headed to injured reserve. He tore his pec in the Buffalo game. So the Niners defensive line has taken a massive hit all year. It started with Javon Hargrave. Jordan Elliott's been banged up. Nick Bosa, as of more recently, has been banged up. So, it just doesn't end. These injuries do not end. So, yeah, it's crazy to think that the Niners actually aren't out of the playoffs. As much as it feels like they are, they're not. They're only 2 games behind the Seahawks for first place in the NFC West. Are they going to finish first in the NFC West? I highly doubt it, but they could very well squeeze in a wild card playoff. Obviously they have tough games coming up. The Bears this upcoming weekend is going to be a tough game. They got Detroit coming up, and then they play the Rams and Arizona again, which are also going to be tough games. I even think the Miami game is going to be tough when we play them coming up. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. But very injury-filled roster right now that the Niners have. And, yeah, like I said, McCaffrey, PCL injury, doesn't require surgery, which is the good news. I'm just glad that it is not a devastating injury that's going to require surgery. That was my biggest thought. As soon as he got hurt, my immediate thought, was hopefully it's just not, it doesn't require surgery. Shut him down the rest of the year, get him ready for next year. And that's exactly what the 49ers are going to do. And then, Jordan Mason, I had no idea he even got hurt. It wasn't until, the report came out yesterday that he was going to be on injured reserve. So, yeah, what a year for the Niners, man. Just a terrible, terrible year. But, yeah, again, just want to come on here, give my 2 cents on the injuries and whatnot. But, yeah, as always, go Niners, and I'll see you guys in the next one.